Cbeebies Bedtime Story.
Hello, I'm Chris. Are you all snuggled up, ready for tonight's bedtime story? Well, that's great, because we need to wish everything in the world around us a good night before we drift off to sleep. Tonight's bedtime story is called Goodnight World, and it was written and illustrated by Debi. Goodnight planet, goodnight world. Peaceful clouds around Earth curled. Goodnight ice and goodnight snow. Goodnight lights above aglow. Goodnight oceans deep and wide. Rocking ships upon the tide. Goodnight trucks and cars and planes. Goodnight rockets, goodnight trains. Goodnight birds, goodnight bees. Goodnight fishes in the seas. Goodnight flowers, goodnight grasses, curled up tight while darkness passes. Goodnight lions, tigers too, and all the animals in the zoo. Goodnight shadows in the park. Goodnight dog that doesn't bark. Goodnight houses, nests, and burrows. Goodnight daylight until tomorrow's. Goodnight teddies, goodnight books. Goodnight sparrows, starlings, rooks. Goodnight sounds of distant cars, and in the sky a million stars. Goodnight moon, goodnight sun. Goodnight to everyone. All is well in my small world. Around my mother's heart, I'm curled. What a beautiful story. Now it's time for you to curl up with your loved ones and drift off to sleep as the world sleeps with you. I'll see you soon for another bedtime story. Sweet dreams.